Betting is the great British pastime, and 8 million customers bet safely and responsibly. Even though problem gambling levels are at record low levels in England, we do acknowledge that we shouldn't be complacent. We do acknowledge that some of our customers will have problems with their gambling. That's why the ABB is launching a new code of responsible gambling and player protection, and introducing new consumer protection measures which will make a difference.
The code, I think, has been implemented simply because it's the right thing to do. We realise it's important to have a sustainable business and customers who are in control of their gambling.
The idea of the code is to create an environment where the shop staff are going to interact more with the customers, and that can be able to ascertain whether or not their customers are going to be having difficulties.
Ladbrokes material has changed forever, so every piece of marketing material that a customer will see in future in a Ladbrokes shop will contain some form of responsible gambling message. They will have the helpline numbers, and they will promote the National Gambling website.
And there are also responsible gambling messages at frequent occasions on the gantry. There are also going to be audio messages on the gantry promoting responsible gambling.
In machine areas there will be some posters. It's an easy guide for customers on how to set their limits and stay in control.
When they approach a machine, the customer will see quite prominently displayed on that front screen a set limits function. It's a bright green button. So if you set a voluntary limit, for example, that you only want to gamble for around 5 minutes, then as soon as that 5 minutes is breached, then a pop-up comes up onto the machine which freezes the screen. And what that does is it gives the customer an opportunity to actually reflect. The other thing is, of course, is those pop-ups also trigger behind the counter. There's the possibility of our staff being able to monitor the customer's behaviour and obviously interact with them if that's necessary.
And with these messages that come up on your tills, this will give you a little jog. Going out there and saying, "You okay? Do you want a cup of tea?" How's that going to hurt? We
recognise that not all customers will set limits, so what we've done is we've also included mandatory limits, which means that if a customer has gambled for more than 30 minutes, or if a customer breaches a loss limit of £250, then likewise they will get the same sort of messages on the screen, which will give them time for reflection around their gambling behaviour.
Jenningsbet staff are being trained off-site by our training manager, who has, in conjunction with the ABB, set up a training programme that will enable the staff to interact more with the customers and be able to advise whether or not they need some assistance with their gambling, and from that be able to guide them to the sources, whether it be Game Care, whether it be the National Helpline.
If a customer decides that he or she has an issue with their gambling, our shop colleagues are able to give them advice on that, and that includes offering immediate self-exclusion, and we will fill out the form with them, and we will encourage them to self-exclude from not just Ladbrokes but from other gambling premises in the area. Whilst customers only have to be 18 to be in a betting shop, we encourage our shop colleagues to think 21. So if they see a new customer that looks young, then they will go out and they will challenge those people for proof of ID. When machines are remote from the counter, it's important that shop colleagues are in the customer area.
There'll be one person nominated per shop that will receive further training if needed, and obviously these things evolve, so what works with your customers, you keep a list of good practices. If it doesn't work, is there anything we can learn from this?
The code is evolutionary and will continue to evolve over time. That's why we're pleased that the Responsible Gambling will review the code, and that's why we're very pleased that NatSam will properly evaluate the code for us, and we will listen to those recommendations that they come up with, and we will act accordingly.
It is through the business. It's not just us, it's Corals, it's William Hills, it's Paddy's. We're not on our own. This is an experience that every customer is going to have in every bookmaker that they go to.